10 skills to help you survive the coming depression. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. We know that odds are something big is coming. So start now. Don't procrastinate with these things. Very important. If you say, oh, I'll wait till later or I'll wait till an event happens to learn, that's not the time. You're going to have so much going on, so many things to do, you're not going to have time. Well, you will learn skills. Of course you will. But why make it harder on yourself? Instead of making it easier, start learning these skills now. It's never too late. It's never better to start tomorrow. It's always better to start today. And keep at it. Don't get worn out. Don't get burned out. Keep at it. It's important. Skills, one thing about skills, it allows you to rely less on gear and more on your skill sets. So, if you're in a situation where you got to get out and you have less with you, you might have a chance of surviving. If you don't, you probably won't. So what are the skills? There's a lot of skills that you could have. These are just 10 good ones to have that will definitely help you and give you a better chance. And they're not in any particular order. First one I wrote down, you see around me, gardening. Gardening isn't just putting a seed in the ground and stuff grows magically. Some situations you may get lucky, but knowing as much as you can about gardening is important. It will give you a better chance of survival because then you will have a sustainable food source. You'll be able to grow, harvest the seeds, etc. You will be able to have food, more food available to you than if you don't know how to garden. The better you are at gardening, the more effective you'll be at producing lots of food. So gardening is a very essential skill. Homesteaders and preppers should be like that. Preppers should be trying to be as much of a homesteader as possible, and homesteaders definitely should be preppers. Next skill I'm going to talk about, tactical skills. Defensive tool manipulation skills. Patrolling, security, observation skills, having the proper gear, knowing how to use it, being familiar with it, so that when things go bad, you can react without thinking about it, having it be second nature. Tactical skills will enable you to potentially protect what you have. If you don't have these skills, you'll be a lot less likely at protecting what you have. It's not just about like, oh yeah, I got this old deer hunting tool, I'll just go sit out on the road. No, it's not going to work. It may work for a little bit, but it won't work. That's not a plan. So get yourselves proper tactical training. Medical skills are essential. If you're going to make a hole, you got to know how to plug a hole. TCCC, first aid, trauma medicine, anything you can get, any skills you can get. I've been talking about this recently a little bit on Patreon and here on YouTube. Medical skills are, think about what life's going to be like if you can't just go to the hospital, if you can't just go to the doctor. It's going to be tough. A lot of people are going to die from things that they normally wouldn't right now in today's day and age. So medical skills are vitally essential. Foraging. That goes along with your ability to replenish your food supply and or extend it. You can only stockpile so much food. And once you start eating it, you just started the stopwatch on your life if you do not have a way to replenish it. So foraging is very important. knowing what you can eat out there. Knowing that, it's probably not on camera right now, but there's dock all around me. There's plantain all around me. There's nipplewort all around me. There's Japanese knotweed. There's blackberries, huckleberries, thimbleberries, salmonberries, stuff all over the place. Dandelion is another one. This stuff's all over the place. Yep, she just brought me a dock leaf. Kind of eaten by bugs, but that's a dock leaf. Wilderness survival skills. Foraging can go along with that, and some of the other topics I'm going to talk about can kind of fall into that category. But how to start a fire via different methods. I prefer a lighter, of course. Make it easy for yourself. But you need to know how to do it in other methods. Also how to build shelters with tarps, with hammocks, with tents, or just with what's out there. How to build a proper shelter. There's a lot of other stuff that goes along with that also. Knots, learning how to tie knots, land navigation. There's a lot of sub-skills in categories. But wilderness survival skills, any wilderness survival skills you can gain are probably going to do you very well. Next goes along with the food production and foraging and other stuff. Having the ability to, and the skills, to can, dehydrate, freeze dry, pickle, jerk, salt, whatever method you feel would be advantageous to you for storing your food that you overproduce in your garden, or you forage, or other methods I'm going to talk about for long term. Or just, for a little bit longer term, so you don't have to eat it right away. This is a very good skill to have. Canning is easy. People have been doing it for a long time, right? Pretty easy. Dehydrating is pretty easy, especially in the summer when it's nice and hot out. You can just lay a tray of stuff out in the sun and let it dehydrate that way. You can make yourself a solar oven. You can get a dehydrator. A lot of different ways. So these are good skills to have. This isn't necessarily a skill, but an ability. Physical fitness. I know some of you guys don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to take the time and effort that it takes to be more fit. But however fit you are right now, you need to be more fit. I'm fairly fit, but I'm working on it all the time. Because when things go south, everything's going to be more difficult. Everything's going to require more physical labor. You're going to be able to need to, some people will in that role will be able to need, in that tactical role, will be able to need to be able to put on all their gear, their pack, their defensive tools, their defensive gear, and go out and do patrolling and or sit for long periods of time. You're going to have to carry heavy loads. You're going to have to go gather water and carry it back, etc. There's going to be a lot of things. Functional fitness is very important. Not just how big of weights can you lift, but what kind of physical fitness can you perform and increase your ability that will help you do normal, everyday things. Fitness, 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 fitness. Along with that is what you eat, how you eat. Healthy, whole, natural foods like God intended it. Instead of all this processed crap that Americans eat and other people around the world. Look at where the healthiest people are, where they live the longest, and look at their diets. Let food be thy medicine. Along with that foraging, I mentioned food, but also wild medicinals. That's very important. Another skill set that goes, see, these skill sets kind of cross over sometimes. The medical and foraging can cross over. Another skill, simple, to me it's a simple skill, to some people it's not. Cooking. Just the ability to look at ingredients, look at what you have, and be able to put stuff together and make something that tastes good. It's very simple. Ah, thank you.
Yep.
Fresh strawberry. Yum. A lot of people out there don't know how to cook. They just know how to put a tray in a microwave, a tray in an oven. They know how to drive to the local restaurant, whatever. They don't really know how to make food from scratch. They may be able to grab a couple things, throw in a pan, come up with a meal. But really cooking and baking along with that. Do you know how to bake bread from scratch without a boxed bread, bread maker, and those little dough packs or whatever they are, that come, you just add water or whatever, and it comes out bread when you throw it in this machine? Do you actually know how to make bread? Simple. It's a simple skill. It's one of those things you should learn how to do. And not just cooking on your stove in your house. How can you do this cooking over a campfire? Do you know how to cook with cast iron? A cast iron Dutch oven over a campfire. Oh yeah, good skill to have. Speaking of which, I haven't practiced that recently. So we need to get on doing that because these skills are perishable. You need to be practicing them all the time, getting really good at them. Okay, along with the foraging, growing, and stuff like that, what else is there? A lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to go hunting. Great. You may be able to for a period of time. Small game will probably live longer and be available longer than big game. But if it's a long-term event, aka Great Depression, the deer population was decimated in the United States. So think about that. If that's your sole plan, it's a flawed plan. Layers, backups, alternate methods is important. Along with hunting is trapping, snaring, and fishing. Being able to produce or go gather or go get some protein for yourself. Very important skills. And a lot of these skills can be fun. Learning how to do them. Make prepping fun. And before I forget, please subscribe, hit the like, thumbs up, comment below, and share the videos. I really appreciate it. The more people we can reach out there, the more people we can empower to be prepared, will be the fewer number of people coming for what we have. Which means fewer threats out there. So pass on the word. Okay, the last one. Not last in importance, but just last on the list. Water filtration and or treatment of said water. Water is important. Talked about it a lot. Stockpile it, but also identify sources and know how to clean it. How to make it drinkable so you don't get sick and die. Filters, chemical treatments, pills, etc. Learn these different ways. Also, how can you make a water filter with just common stuff laying around your yard? Some 5-gallon buckets. 2, better 3. If I have 3 5-gallon buckets, a couple t-shirts, maybe some coffee filters, some dirt, sand, stuff like that, I can make a water filter that will work. That's a skill though. You got to know how to do it. You can't just throw a bunch of dirt in a bucket and pour water into it. You got to know how to do it. So skills are important. Oftentimes, skills will definitely trump gear. It's not just about sitting on the couch and ordering stuff on Amazon. It's about getting up out of the couch, going outside, doing things, learning skills, getting training from people that know how to do it properly, and then practicing it yourself. Practice, 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 practice until you get really good at it. So I challenge you, pick a skill. Maybe one of these that you don't know how to do. And over the next 3 months, get good at that one skill. I know you can't know everything. This is why tribe is important. Redundancy of skills, cross-training is very important. That's another thing. If you have a tribe, ask. You should know what their skills are. But if you don't, ask. And have training sessions and have different people teach different skills that they know, that they're intimately familiar with. Because we all have different skill sets. We all have different abilities. So learn from each other. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you guys very much. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate all your support. We're over 29,000 subscribers now. That's pretty cool. Let's get to over 30,000. Let's get over 100,000. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.